So yeah, I've just put together this announcement on my computer and realised it's over 20 minutes long. So I appreciate that's quite long for people. I wasn't ever planning on making the first section, but you'll understand why I've made the first section. But really the most important part of this video that I wanted to express in another video, it happens around 8 minutes 30 in. This is about 30 seconds long, so you need to try and navigate to that point if you don't have 20 minutes. But yeah, if you can listen to the whole video, then that would be great, and you'll understand why I've added in the first section, and hopefully it clears a few things up. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Alright guys, this is Lewis. So yeah, I wanted to make a new video. I was planning on making a video at some point just to clear up a few things, mainly about sort of purpose and direction and, you know, how I've changed my mindset and that sort of stuff. But yeah, recently a few things have happened, and I feel like I need to clear it up. So yeah, if you want to listen to the whole video, I will talk about my new mindset and how I'm moving forwards, and you know, how I've restructured things a little bit. So if you'd like to watch the whole video to get the whole you know, context, then that would be good. So yeah, the same as before, I'm going to read out a piece of writing that I've done, and yeah, of course, if you've got any questions or anything like that, then feel free to add them in the comment section. Alright. Hi guys, there has been a few things happen over the past few days I would like to clear up, so I thought it would be best to do one more update. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you for all the feedback and support. Honestly, I had no idea what impact the announcement would make on people, but it appears like for many, it was a welcomed video. For a small few, understandably, it has led to some confusion. The same confusion no doubt I had when I began to question my road. So in this video, I would like to give you my own opinion on how I have restructured my mindset. Before I get onto that, however, unfortunately, I feel like I have to clear a few things up and be transparent with people watching. I found out pretty quickly that Dr. Wilson was emailing my clients informing them that they need to change to a new helper. Initially, I figured this was a miscommunication on my part, so I emailed him to inform him that I was still being a practitioner. Only to find today that there is now an announcement on the Earth blog asking all of my clients to find another practitioner. He, of course, is completely within his right to do this, but for the sake of transparency, I want to inform people of a few points I would like to make so people can make an informed decision. As far as I'm aware, this hasn't happened to any other practitioners in the past, so this was slightly unexpected, and I was never expecting to make such a video. But in the interest of transparency, I feel it's only right to present people with my own opinion and experience. Point 1. The vast majority of my clients have come to me from my own marketing, mainly YouTube, Instagram and word of mouth. Many are unaware of Dr. Wilson because they come to me because of my own very unique story and experience. Unfortunately, I never got many clients from Larry's website. This is a big problem for practitioners. But I've always felt it to be incredibly healthy for practitioners to build up their own businesses and marketing outlets and focus on their own unique stories. So to wake up to emails from clients who came to me because of unique health conditions to be told to move elsewhere is obviously confusing to them and to me. Dr. Wilson informed me that my clients expect to be on the development program with programs set up by his team. This is incorrect for the most part. As mentioned, many people come to me from my own work. In order to be successful at marketing today, it is useful to focus on niches. My main niche was derealization, visual snow and Accutane damage, although of course I spoke about much of the program too. I found that the vast majority of my clients started to work with me because of these specific problems I can help them with. Larry, as far as I'm aware, have no articles on such ailments, so it has been through my own unique journey and experience that I can truly help such people. I do not understand how you can justify expecting my clients to switch practitioners when they have come to me for my own unique experience and knowledge. The vast majority of them have come to me for very specific help like this. Often clients switch from practitioners to me because of my very specific and unique knowledge. And I'm sure clients have also left me when they have found out other practitioners may be more knowledgeable about a certain subject. Therefore, I think it's important for clients to be aware of this. Switching practitioners is likely going to mean they have no idea about your unique health problems. Also, people were starting up with me to not start the development program. They were starting up with me for my own unique help with their unique problems. Point 4. I personally have a problem when Dr. Wilson talks about him and his team. I find this quite misleading for people. Many clients probably think Larry has a team of medical individuals and experts working together on programs, or we work together and have meetings as a team, etc. This is incorrect. When Larry writes the word team, he is actually talking about his guidance. If you listen to my previous video, you will understand why I personally can no longer trust the guidance. It is unverifiable, often incorrect, and as a result, potentially dangerous. So please, when you hear the word team, it is important to appreciate what that word means. Point 5. As a practitioner for 4 years, it's very unfortunate to say that I have not had one phone call from Dr. Wilson or even an email to check in with me and give me extra guidance. As a practitioner, I expected there to be more additional help, information and teaching. Thus far, and as far as I'm aware, none of the other practitioners get this. We have had to learn everything ourselves, build a business ourselves and market ourselves. Personally, I didn't have much of a problem with it, and Larry is completely free to run his business however he wants. However, the reason why I want to bring this up is because I find it disappointing that we build our own business, our own clientele, we don't get any extra one-on-one help. All of a sudden I am told I need to drop 8 clients in 2 weeks, and when I decide to leave, Larry takes it upon himself to personally email and announce to all my clients that they need to leave. Again, he is completely free to do this. But it kind of hurts when people feel Larry builds custom programs for people with his team. He doesn't. Larry and his guides/team set up the supplements only and answer a few questions. It's up to me as a practitioner to work closely with my clients to give them custom advice and recommendations based on my own unique experience. One major issue I have found personally with the program is how some supplements are too powerful and swing people off too quickly in certain directions. Also, there isn't a good system in place to track and keep a check on people and their supplements. Often clients will leave because of this, not knowing it's probably their supplements that have made them feel bad. By the time they check in and send their info to the guides come back with often incorrect supplement information. Recently, as mentioned in my previous video, I have took it upon myself to change some dosages of supplements. Instead of getting the guides to update programs, I personally speak to the clients, ask an array of questions and change their supplements and rely solely on the science of tests. It really is an organic process. Thus far, I honestly have had nothing but praise from the changes. I feel if the program is to improve, instead of guides tuning in, a new way of dealing with supplements and changes needs to be made. The questions people ask and get answered by the guides often in my experience is not good enough. One example is often when people say they cannot sleep, the advice is to take extra Paramin. However, I have found time and time again the real problem is the Megapan, for example, and other things. As practitioners, we are expected to trust the guidance, but I have found it not to be accurate enough. So when Larry says it's important for him and his team to set up programs, I feel it's important to note that the program setup is simply the supplements, which currently, in my opinion, is not structured in a way that keeps track of clients, and it is not accurate enough. This is not to say the program doesn't work, it really does. It's one of the most amazing healing programs on the planet, but I just feel a few tweaks need to be made. It is simple to see whether the tweaks work based on how people report back and matching up the positive feedback with their hair analysis tests. Again, I really did not want to make a video like this, but after the announcement on the website and the personal emails to clients, I really think it's important for people to make informed decisions. Moving on, I know a few people recently have been confused, including myself, so I wanted to give you my own personal opinion of how I navigated the whole experience. One of my purposes in life was to keep doing the program in order to receive guidance/soul help from elsewhere, and so on and so forth. When I personally came to the realization that I cannot trust guidance, of course a sense of purpose left me and I had to rebuild it. Luckily for me, I was guided by God and I spoke to some great people that helped me mould a new mindset. For the record, this wasn't some knee-jerk reaction. There was a lot of introspection, asking questions, talking to people and more. One person I spoke to is a well-known guy called Daniel Vitalis. Some of you may have heard of him. He has also gone through a similar experience, and we spoke at length about a few things that really helped. So here's a few important points I would like to make. The program works, there is no question about it. However, I feel a new mindset may be of help. One is nutritional balancing is taught by many people, and as far as I can see, it does heal people excellently. And in my opinion, the best way to heal people. I should also note that a lot of practitioners moved away from the development program, mainly because of the supplement problem I spoke about earlier. Always be aware, however, when you begin the program, you begin it in order to heal your health conditions. Becoming aware of guidance, spirituality and development for some can be another eye-opener, including myself. It was easy for me to start focusing on the word development instead of healing, which doesn't really make a difference. You still heal regardless. However, what I will say from experience is this. Worry first about your healing. Your brain is not working well. You need to rest, detox and heal. 100% the program will do this for you. You will experience at times spiritual experiences, epiphanies, trauma retracing and more. This is all fantastic and welcomed. However, from experience and talking to others, I know this. Once you have overcome your ailments, in many ways you are freed from your shackles. When healing, all you think about is your sickness and your illness. Your brain is not working right and you cannot see the woods for the trees. What I have noticed is when you don't have the issues anymore, God may instill new goals for you. It's important to note it is God who guides us and no one else, even though other people's information is very useful. God guides you to the program. He holds you through the trauma. He puts you in front of new people for support. He garners new relationships for you and removes others. God will never lead you astray. Just like Jesus' disciples were not carbon copies of Jesus, you are neither a carbon copy of anyone else. You are your own unique, amazing individual. It may be your purpose to teach people about gardening, or to work as an aide in another country, or even to clean rubbish bins. It's easy to know what God wants you to do when you are much better healed because it is like a fire in your heart. You know what you need to do and things align in place for it to happen. You probably had that same fire in your heart when you found the program. Keep following the fire. The fire is always there, but God may have just moved it to a different location. Me removing myself from the practitioner list was not me, but it was God. If you feel like it's your purpose to really get your head down and live more monk-like like Dr. Wilson, then that's fantastic, and you should make that decision, in my opinion, when you have reached your first goal of healing yourself. So focus on healing and try not to get too caught up in other things. When you have said goodbye to your health problems, say hello to God's new direction. When I personally reached that goal, I noticed a few things that guided me in a slightly new direction, and I think these points need to be addressed. Point 1. I noticed thus far no other people hear guides or get guidance like Dr. Wilson. Guidance is different to intuition or the fire God instills in your heart, in my opinion. The program has been going for 40 years, and as far as I'm aware, no one has got this guidance, which obviously is fine. If you please have it, let me know. As a result, however, personally, I questioned whether I should still keep this as a purpose for my life. God was implanting new fires and people into my life, and I just knew in my heart. Personally, for me, I would have liked to expect at least one more would be there by now. I once asked Larry for the name of an individual who was like him so I could try and speak to them. He gave me a name and I knew this person. Unfortunately, this person didn't experience guidance and it didn't quench my thirst. Point 2. I realise that the situation I have experienced has been the same for many practitioners in the past. I feel if the program was the key to life, then God would have made sure that many of these amazing practitioners would have stuck to Larry's advice of how to live. However, as mentioned before, my personal opinion is God guides us to the program to heal because it works. And then once that has happened, God can and will use us in other ways he wishes. That doesn't mean you will stop doing the program, it just doesn't mean you're assigned to a certain dogma. Dr. Wilson's website can sometimes make you feel guilty for leaving, as if we are making horrendous mistakes. Telling people that if they have been guided elsewhere or do not follow the program, then they have been rogue infiltrated. The program isn't a cult, but you can see how that sort of wording can capture people. I think having that sort of responsibility to tackle when you are ill is unfair. A true leader, in my opinion, should guide people to health and then hold the individual and help them figure out their own God-instilled unique fire. Although I feel Dr. Wilson genuinely has good intentions, making people think they may have been infiltrated by the rogues if they leave is dangerous. I can tell you now 100% I have enough experience with the Almighty God to know it was the might of Him and Jesus alone who guided me onto new pastures. Guilt-tripping people into thinking they should stay because if not they might get infiltrated by the rogues is pretty dangerous, in my opinion. Point 3. I personally think humans need to fully embrace what it means to be human, and they can only do that when their bodies and minds work properly. We are vehicles for God's purpose, but a car cannot drive if the engine is not working. The program will 100% fix the car. Then God, in my opinion, picks the road, which, who's to say, isn't pretty similar to the road parallel. I used to think embracing humanity and our purpose was about reaching a point where we can hear guidance. In reality, what I have learned is that really you need to listen to God. After all, the Bible warns us about accepting such guidance, and I think that personally, that's quite a powerful point. God's voice at times will be so strong and your life will be altered in such a way, doors will close and new doors will open, and this is fine. This is what life is all about, following that fire. The program is extremely restrictive once your ailments are much better. Although it is important to stay indoors, rest more, and be very careful when you are healing, once you are better, restricting yourself in such extreme ways, in my opinion, is not what God's purpose is for everyone. People become very lonely, paranoid, and on edge. Some would even go to say, and have said, Larry is lonely, paranoid, and on edge too. Combine that with the darkness that is often attached to the guidance and rogues, it makes me personally question whether I even want that at all. I appreciate the arguments for it, but for me, what I have heard and seen, that is not something I personally want to achieve or experience if it is real. I'd be much more on board with it if other people were experiencing this too. But as far as I'm aware, this is not the case at the moment. It seems much more healthy, in my opinion, to live an unnatural way initially to heal yourselves because we are so out of balance. But once you are more vibrant and healthy, and if God instills a new purpose into your life, it is important to embrace it and not to get locked into one worldview. That doesn't mean throwing out the baby with the bathwater, it just means God guides you onto one stepping stone as a foundation for the next. I can tell you from experience and seeing others that when I started to keep myself restricted, as I started to heal and become more aware, I got very anxious and nearly traumatized myself by thinking I needed to live a certain way. And I know this is the case for a lot of other people. I then realised about things like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and other things that made me realise embracing human needs and God's purpose for you was what I personally needed, and probably others too. Also, I think it's important to note that we all have different personalities and gifts. Maybe Dr. Wilson was a much more introverted person, less social, less aware of social dynamics, and so on and so forth. I have heard this to be the case, which is completely fine, and is likely to send you down different paths, but that is not for me. Thus, focusing down on one thing like the programme long term was his purpose. For those who have different personalities and skills to present to the world, it's important to embrace those. Often, however, as we have all probably learned the hard way, we must first heal. We are all different, and God gives us certain skills and gifts to use and embrace for His will only. It doesn't mean you will stop doing most of the program, it just means don't try to brainwash yourself into thinking you must live a certain way for the rest of your life. I think it's very important to not think you are somehow missing out if you don't live a certain way. As long as you listen to God in your heart, that is your main purpose. And to be honest, in my opinion, that voice ends up being so strong, you have no choice at times but to listen to it. I feel like that's the main reason why many amazing practitioners in the past have also gone their separate ways respectively. They have not been rogue infiltrated. They have listened to their hearts. Trust and believe in Jesus Christ and you are already saved. So for now, I am going to teach the program from my own perspective. I will change a few things that often make clients leave, and I will focus solely on their health and healing. Once they have achieved this, I will be helping them to understand their own unique purpose and blossom in the world. I will be teaching that it is still important to keep yourself healthy and do the program if they wish. But for me personally, I won't be telling people they need to live as restrictive as Dr. Wilson and to try and achieve guidance. I would be much more open to this way of living if I knew others who had achieved the same guidance and I could question them, or if I saw how incredibly accurate the guides are. Unfortunately, for now, at best they are unreliable and at worst dangerous. So, unfortunately, that's something I cannot jump on board with at the moment. For the record, I trust the program, not the guidance. Over the next few months, you will see me promoting a program as I see fit. I will also be building interactive healing systems with my God-instilled gifts for my clients that will be used as a help and guide alongside my personal guidance. The focus will be on healing. When people have overcome their issues, then it is completely up to them as to what their next step is. After doing this for 10 years, I do not know one single person who has kept going and lives like Larry does. I don't want to say it's wrong, in the contrary, I'm just giving you the reasons as to why I've decided to switch my mindset slightly. So in short, keep doing the program, keep healing, but always listen to your heart. I am overwhelmed by the emails this morning about my clients telling me they are also questioning some of the things and they are going to keep with me as their practitioner. I believe they are following their hearts. I appreciate not everyone will agree with me, and that is completely fine. It is my opinion and my opinion solely. But what I do feel is that people will understand the way I think much better when they have achieved goal 1, which was their initial quest at dealing with their health problems. And they may understand my way of thinking much more clearer when they reach the top of their first mountain. For now, I hope this video has cleared a few things up. Keep up the good fight, Lewis. So that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for all the support. It's honestly been overwhelming. I feel like this has probably been a pink elephant in the room that has been difficult to address. So hopefully I have tried to be as reasonable as possible, and this is not some sort of bashing contest. It honestly really isn't, but I feel like it was my duty to explain to people and give people some transparency based on some of the things that was happening. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There's going to be bigger and brighter things to come, in my opinion, and yeah, catch you all soon.